This is a meeting of the Community Preservation Act Committee. And we're using a Zoom platform in accordance with the governor's directive allowing us to meet remotely. It's been posted and identified as a meeting that'll occur this way on the town's website, and people can access this meeting via that option. We'll take a roll call and determine whether we have a quorum. Beth,
Present.
Ellie,
Here.
Wayne,
Here.
Carolyn,
Here.
Tim, we have a quorum. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:34. Approval of minutes of September 2nd. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Oh, sorry.
I'll second. That's fine.
And a second. And is there any additions or corrections? Everybody's happy. We'll do a roll call. Ellie,
Aye.
Wayne,
Aye.
Carolyn,
Aye.
Beth,
Aye.
Tim, aye. Thank you. Housing Trust warrant article vote. Maureen reached out to Stuart. And just for some general idea as to whether or not he'd ever come up against a question that, related to the notion of CPA committees weighing in on warrant articles, and he said it was new to him. Never seen this issue come up in another town, he said. We're
That's
blazing the
great.
trail again. He said the CPA legislation charges the committee with the job of reviewing and making recommendations on spending CPA funds, which of course we knew. And he said it might be safer for the CPCA as a whole to refrain from wading in. But he said it's up to us as a committee. There's nothing in the legislation that directly relates to the topic. So he said it, as part of your procedures and policies, figure out what you want to do and then stick with it. So I still am uneasy, and I can't put my finger on it, but I've talked to other folks about it, and they've said, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but they can also see where other folks might have some other ideas about our weighing in. So, thoughts?
Well, you and I have talked about this a little, and I personally don't have a problem as a member of this group, not speaking for conservation, but as a member of this group
Right.
weighing in.
I would
Yes,
say that.
that's my concern too, that I don't feel comfortable representing all of the historical commission. Because I know that they're split.
What were you going to say, Wayne?
I just think that, I think part of the conversation we had last time was that, if we're going to support it, I think it's important to be supporting it, in our role, as a, financial, provider, not the provider, but the conduit for, making a recommendation, we've made the recommendation by putting it forth to the town floor that we think that this, is a good, that in and of itself is a vote to say that, we think it's a good proposal, because if it hadn't passed, if we didn't think it was a good proposal, I guess it wouldn't have passed. I know it could be different if, if it was more of a, funds that we had, somehow provided to the Housing Trust for them to use, you know, at their discretion whenever a project came up, and then we had never voted on a specific use of those funds, you know, then maybe it might make a little more sense. I mean, I'm not saying we can't reconfirm, you know, reconfirm the fact that we support it, but I think the fact that we did, you know, put it forth. The other committees I know that I would imagine that the Housing Trust is seeking support from is because they didn't really get to weigh in on it. So, you know, if historical chooses to weigh in, they choose to weigh in. I mean, I think we're an independent body, and I know we're complicated because members of this board, this committee represent other committees, but they also, I think, uniquely represent themselves here as to, you know, what our job is here. Your job here isn't part of conservation or isn't part of rec or isn't part of, you know, historic per se. I mean, other than, you know, you're sort of shepherding those projects through here that are within your, you know, your purview, but you're also voting on other types of things. So, I mean, I don't have that problem because I'm a person that, you know, is just represents the town in general, but I don't have a problem voting on it. I mean, I personally think it's a great project, but I think that it makes sense for this board, if we're going to make these kinds of votes, be doing it within the purview of within the scope of what our rule is. And I think our scope is in the role of saying this project fits, you know, within the guidelines, and, you know, we think this project as presented makes sense. Otherwise, we wouldn't have put it forward.
Right, and
That's long-winded, but as usual.
if I may just add, I think with the Housing Trust specifically, it is different because we have given them just a chunk of money to do what they will with. They don't have to ask us for approval on projects. So I think, but because we gave them the money, I think it does.
This wasn't one we were specific, right? We weren't specific about this one.
Correct. No, this.
So then I don't think that there's a problem with going back, which is what I was sort of saying, you know, so I was a little confused there, I think, to say, yeah, we gave them this funds and this is exactly the kind of project that it's intended for.
100%.
Yeah.
And I don't see a problem with us validating that this kind of project is exactly what we gave them the money for.
And I think in the same tone to that, though, you know, we've even said that, you know, we want the Housing Trust, if we're giving them a pot of money, to sort of be, you know, responsible to us to, you know, use it in a way that, you know, fits those guidelines. And so we've said, well, you know, I mean, myself, I don't know if we've really said it that way, but if like the Housing Trust is going to pursue projects that seem like kind of off the wall, you know, then that might make us think twice about how we allocate those funds out. But, you know, I think that this is exactly the kind of project that's intended. And the reason we've given them the money is so that they can do things like this without having to wait. So it makes sense to me.
Here.
Yeah, I believe in the project. I have no trouble with that. The part that I'm hesitant about is this committee, other than what we've already done, which was to make the money available for the generalized use of, you know, promoting housing, affordable housing. Yeah, so good.
But didn't we at some point talk about, you know, when you give, you know, if we're giving funds, you know, to one of the organizations, you know, in a lump sum that they can just spend at their, you know, at their choice, you know, didn't we say at some point, I don't know if it was just a conversation, maybe it's not an official position, but, you know, that, you know, this committee kind of, well, just like anything else, wants to keep an eye on how those funds are used. Because if we're choosing, because those are the CPA funds. So if we give them to the Housing Trust, and, you know, not that they are, but if they were to use it in some way that the town looked really negatively upon as a whole, And then it was like, then it calls into the question, well, why are we funding CPA? Because those funds are just getting used for stuff that we don't support. So I think, that's our role, is to make sure that, so I think we've talked about like, okay, I mean, Maureen's given us examples of towns that just kind of sign the check, give it to them, give it to them, give it to them, and they're not really doing any stewardship of,
Right.
they just kind of hand it over. And we, I thought, have had the conversation that we want to maintain the stewardship to some degree, to make sure there's sort of a working understanding that, CPA is looking at what these committees do when if they have this. I mean, Housing Trust is the only one, I guess, at this point, but, to be like, okay, in good faith, it's making sense. I mean, if they came up with some program that we were like, wow, that seems like a stretch for us, but they said, nope, we definitely think this is within. And as a group, we kind of continue to feel like, nope, that's not. I mean, that could affect how we vote in the future. So I don't think it's a bad idea to demonstrate that we're still paying attention to how they do it. I don't think that's bad at all.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I'd make a motion that we vote to voice our support for the CPA funds appropriated to the Housing Trust to be used for this particular project, that
And-
this project falls in line with those guidelines that CPA was set out to fund.
And a second.
Wait a minute,
Second.
so just so the motion's correct, okay? You're voicing your support for the warrant article of the special town meeting,
Blah, 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 blah.
all that, okay? Okay.
To transfer the property
So,
from,
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
the Housing
So-
Trust.
So
Yeah.
you support,
Legion
we're
Hall
supporting
too.
it.
Beth wants to be able to say it at town meeting, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to be able to support it, et cetera, et cetera. But I think we need to say, I think it should be added on there that, that it's because this project does fit with, the type of project CPA is, designated to fund.
I can wordsmith that well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got a second.
Yeah.
Any additional discussion? Beth? We're going to take a vote now, Beth.
I get to vote first.
Oh, Of
Um,
course.
Aye.
And Wayne,
I,
Ellie,
Aye.
Tim? I'm going to abstain. Carolyn?
Aye.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. And Tim, I really appreciate your thoughtful approach.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm right. It's just internally, I'm torn by this one. So I thought, oh, what the hell? Abstain then.
But I do
Because-
appreciate it as a way to sort of follow up. This is the other half of we have an MOU kind of between us, and
Yep.
as a courtesy, we are asking, for you all to weigh in on these sort of big projects, which we greatly appreciate that.
And I believe in the project big time.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't have any doubt of that.
Yeah.
um,
I do think it also sets a precedent that we may be glad we set at some point.
yeah, because
Yeah.
there could be a project that we're
It-
like, no.
And it would be totally possible for this board to say, we took a vote and it was, 1-3. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We don't feel this project is in keeping with the spirit of the funding that we gave.
Yep.
And
And that would have a big effect on
Yep.
town meeting.
Right.
I'm trying to imagine the situation where it would, I suppose, be a situation where the Housing Trust might be looking for additional money beyond what we had supplied.
it could be that, it could be a project that we don't feel is what those funds should be used for.
I
But
mean, we're only one funding source. Maybe maybe they're looking for funds from another source from town, to completely fund something, and they want to use part ours, part something else. I don't know. I mean, but I don't think if this fits, then I don't think that there's any harm in doing it. And I don't think that it precludes us from, I can't foresee a situation either, but there's a lot of things that we've never foreseen until they happen. So,
Right.
and then you're there saying, well, we've never weighed in, and now you look like you're, just penalizing this one project. Like, no, it's like we just, even if it's always just a rubber stamp, I think it just demonstrates good faith between the two groups, and it's just part of that memorable that, just because you got the money doesn't mean, our opinion means nothing, in some way. So I think that's helpful.
Next is CPA signs.
Okay.
Did something get,
I
Did
sent
you
it to
s-
Maureen at 11 o'clock last night. So.
And I sent you back a response at 7.
Oh, I didn't see it. What did it say?
So, so what it said was, I did do a spreadsheet, which I could probably share with you guys right
Yeah.
now. On the, but I'm so not used to this anymore. Are you seeing anything?
Nope.
No,
Not yet.
share screen.
Hold on, one sec. Let's see,
At 7, I was out, and it's like I sometimes don't read my own personal email all day long. So
yeah, I know. Let's see, I want to do. So funny, like you get used to what my other one, I like the other stuff that I do at my new job now much better as far as sharing goes. It's so much easier. Where am I at? I want to do this. Share.
There, well, yep, we can see your file folder, your file explorer.
Well, you don't see the actual,
No, I think you clicked on the wrong screen
wait a minute.
or the wrong window.
I don't see it. Maybe I the wrong. And I just had a problem this evening when I was dealing with my emails. I dumped every email that I have into the trash, and I had to pull everything back out that I didn't mean to throw
Oh,
away. I was
no.
like, yeah, your new phone. Like, nope, I don't know what I was doing. So maybe I'd left it in the trash by accident.
Now you got it?
Yeah, you'll probably need to send me this again.
Yeah,
So, but real quick, and it's been crazy in my life the last few weeks. Anyways, I briefly saw Tim yesterday. I put this together, and what this was it pulled the actual names off of all the applications. Clearly, some of the names have changed in the meantime. And as I was doing this, I came up with an idea, and I briefly mentioned this to the chair yesterday because we saw each other in passing. Instead of trying to go to all the boards and committees, how about your admin writes a letter to the applicant with a copy of the sign, seeing if they like it, and if they don't like it, they come to you. And then when everything is all approved, somebody goes to the select board and I think planning board, and it's more of a courtesy because you just don't want somebody in the public say, hey, I saw this, sign and, what is it all about kind of thing. And then I was saying with you going on, this is in the email, where you're going to be on vacation, I could take care of this while you're on vacation. And that might probably mean the signs will go into the ground in March.
Maybe.
But
yeah.
so anyway, so this is who should review it, what the names were on the projects, and the year it was funded. I think it would be a little bit more difficult to try to go with the years of completion on the signs. I think
Yeah,
it's much
no, I think
clearer
so.
to go with the funding, yeah. So,
agree.
yeah,
I
and
agree.
then I, you know me, I go down into a rabbit hole. I've got some things that say not yet determined, and I think there's a couple that you might even be able to just do some temporary signs on too. So that's
Yeah.
what I put together, and I guess you guys can make the decision if you would want to go search out all the boards or if you just want me to do letters.
Oh, I think letters are fine.
I love the letter idea, keeping
I
it
think it's so
real
much more
simple,
efficient.
very
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
with the
Right.
Well, and it documents it in case anybody had a question.
Yeah.
So we could just
So-
attach a copy of the sign and say, this is what we're, I mean, you were
Right.
saying you would do that in advance of it being done? Or just with all these, you'd send it out and say, this
So,
is what we're
yeah, so
planning?
I think like, so let's use conservation as an example, like, so I would send it to the chair of conservation. The letter, ask that they would put it on their agenda. And then they could have the opportunity to just say, great, send it back. Or send it, if it's one or two minor like edits kind of thing that you guys don't have a problem with, be fine. And if there is some sort of controversy, you never know, they would have to come to you and speak, or they would have to have a representative come and speak. And I like deadlines because then it makes people motivated. So I would say if I could get them out like in October, November, see if everybody could get back to you guys by like the end of February.
Yep.
Then you get your quote and then you get in, you know, because I mean, who knows,
Yep.
like even maybe the garden, they may not, no, I don't want it on the fence, I want to post, like, you never know what they're gonna say, but then they should have a discussion with you versus it gets getting caught back. in the-
Yeah, yeah, it's much clearer.
Yeah.
You're very smart in that.
So,
Great recommendation.
What, if you wrote that letter and got it out in October, what's the harm of telling them that we need a response by the end of November?
well, I think that not everybody meets all the time. And, I, Beth and I were actually talking right before you all got on, was that we just did I just did the meeting dates again. You know how like I like to put things like this agenda needs this, like in March, this needs November. I'm thinking November is gonna be busy with applications is all I'm thinking. So
We're
give
not
them
gonna get them
time
into,
to,
we're not gonna get them into the ground till spring anyways at this point,
right,
so
yeah. So just
like-
that way they can get it on their, you know, I mean.
by the end of December would be good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too aggressive, but like, you know, so I'll do the same way like I do with the progress reports, like I send it out and then I send out the reminder like 10 days before.
Right, because I was gonna say the problem with letting too much time go, it's like, oh, I have plenty of time
Right,
to answer
right.
that, and then it falls off the
Can we
list.
just look at when they're planning on meeting and just, you know, so it's within 2 meetings, they have to act on it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's going to take me a little bit of time to get the emails and everything too. Like, I mean, I like what, like, I'll give you another example, and I don't know if you're going to talk about this and share updates, but we still have some, you know, stuff going back and forth for the renovations at the fields for an invoice, and you know, some of those applicant emails might not even be valid anymore. So there might be some research, but I'm just thinking about my calendar and how I have like 6 hours a week dedicated to you guys. I think that is a good place to kind of place it within.
So you were saying end of
the week.
November is what you said?
I would get the letters out like in November, and I could probably, I
Oh, in
probably would like,
November.
like I could even do like a Happy New Year, just checking back in to see if you're gonna get like, you know.
Yeah, I
yeah.
would say if we send it in November, then ask for it by year end. So I think that's enough time. It's more than a month cycle.
Well, but people
so
don't meet though.
Right, so what I
Lynn.
would do is I would say, if you are not meeting before that deadline, get in touch with me.
Well,
And
why
then,
don't-
and then
well,
that way, the people who do meet regularly, it kind of puts it on their agenda quickly.
right.
And
Well,
if,
let me draft something and then the next meeting you guys can just edit it and
Right.
pull it apart.
the other recommendation in the letter that I would have is to say, we are developing a standard sign. This
Yeah, they
is
should say
your
this is-
standard sign,
Yeah, this is a standard sign. This is a standard sign with language for your project, right?
Right.
You know?
correct? We're not
Yeah, because-
asking for like a redesign, we're not
Okay.
asking for.
Approval of
but-
the copy is what we're looking for.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
Yes, which I.
Because
right,
that can
well,
open a whole can of worms.
Right.
that-
Well,
Yeah,
that's
we're not,
why-
we're not going back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why the applications does this project need a sign? Check. That's
Yeah.
gonna be part of your deliberations up front now. It's not gonna be at the back end. It's
Yep,
gonna be
but-
up front. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll draft something quick and then when are we meeting again? The 7th? So,
Great.
are you gone by that time, Tim? You're not
No,
going yet?
I'll
Okay.
I'll be here then. So.
That's perfect, because I thought your input and
Nope.
approval. But I think the letters, then if
Wait,
someone.
wait. When?
Isn't it, is it the
October
7th?
It's not
Yes.
October 7th because Tim and I have a planning board meeting. I have the 14th for October.
Oh, nope.
We wouldn't
I
have. a
assume
plan-
it's the 14th and the 28th.
we
We're
won't have a-
always the 1st and the 3rd though, aren't we?
We won't have a planning board meeting on the 7th. It'll be the 14th.
Oh, I have those backwards because of when October starts. My bad. Okay. I will switch those now. So
Listen,
that I
I'm with
show
you,
up at the
sister.
right place.
I am like, date, I can't even believe we're into the middle of September. It's just nightmare. Yeah, and then you guys can just edit it, but I'm gonna be honest, I think like the big follow through won't be until after the 1st of the year, like to see where people are. And then we'll have a paper trail. And then if someone wants to come in at the 11th hour, gee, so sorry, we try to work with, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be mean to nobody, but you know what I'm saying?
There would be no harm in telling people they can get back to us as soon as they want.
Love that, yes.
And
Love to
then,
hear from you.
Yeah.
and then those laggards will get a follow-up from you
Yeah.
after the 1st of the year. So maybe rather than putting a time on it, we just say, we want your comments. And,
As soon as possible, or
you know, and, you know, don't go crazy, but when you meet, have a discussion and get back to us.
How about I be like your first meeting in January of 2025, put it on your agenda, something like that?
I'd let them do it because they might get it
Because,
done this
I just
year.
feel like I'm gonna get this back and forth. We don't meet this, we don't meet that, like.
At your
Well-
next, how about just saying at your next meeting?
Let's,
We just,
let's you and I strategically deal with this.
Yeah,
I think
get
we
the
can
letter.
figure it out. Good.
You know,
Um,
Ellie's board's gonna do it right away and be the first people in line, so Ellie's not even saying anything, because she's like, I've already got it in my mind to tell June to put it on the agenda.
I don't think they have a sign at this point though, for sure. So we don't know what
Oh,
they
we
want.
have a temporary sign up,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I guess it would,
right.
I guess in your case, it would be a good conversation to have to say like,
Yeah.
what would a permanent
Yeah.
solution be, you know?
Right,
Can I
Yeah,
just show you?
I'm with Tim that the longer you put the deadline, the harder it is to get it on the agenda.
Yeah.
If you tell them that it needs to be done within the next 2 meetings, then it happens.
okay,
100%.
and most of these groups are, except for rec, are probably meeting fairly routinely.
is Ag meeting? It's funny, because Ag was the one in my mind that
They-
they don't,
they
do
meet-
they meet
They meet
regularly?
frequent, yes, and,
Oh.
and I won't let James in the door if he doesn't put it on their agenda.
All right, I forgot, we had some muscle around on certain.
I
parts.
will, I'll talk to the building inspector because he's and before it goes to the planning board, just so I can give the planning board the feedback from the building inspector,
Okay.
since he's the sign official.
Do you want to look at the signs? Did you have a chance to look at the signs that I fixed up
Let's
last
look
night?
at them.
I didn't send anything to anybody.
Oh, okay.
You wanted to share screen like you did last
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
last 2 weeks ago.
So. Can you see that?
Yes,
Okay, so this was the generic one, but a couple things I still have to do, so I can try to do this. Thank you, Maureen, for putting those dates on there. So I'll fix these signs, and I still have to do something about the logo itself doesn't have a clear background, so I got to figure that part out, but I will. So if we use a generic one, this is not perhaps, I guess, my favorite, but now I still have to talk with Kristen, but to get, you know, a URL on the sign and the date that the project is funded and the nice, clean, crisp logo. But we don't have a use for that one at this point. So this is, you know, this is the Berlin tennis courts one. So I changed it so it says this project received support from the people of Berlin for its preservation or restoration through the community. So it's okay. I only use the verb, like it had all 4 different verbs or descriptions in there. So I just made it whatever seemed to be appropriate to the project.
Yeah, excuse
I
me,
said-
Wayne. This is
Yes.
one of the ones that the application says basketball, pickleball, and tennis courts.
Yeah, I know. So if we want to change that wording,
So I've got, just so you're aware.
You could just say Berlin courts. I mean, because it's obvious that it, you know, in what way we're using the word court.
is that what you guys want? I'm not hearing anything. Tell me what you would prefer. I mean, I can take it off. I don't think you want all those things on here. I think it's too much.
It-
So
Yeah,
if you just want it to be like that, we can make it like that.
or, I mean, what if it says tennis courts?
All right, well, it's not just tennis. That's the,
Right, that's right,
problem.
right.
You could
Right.
put sports courts. I don't
Sports
know.
courts, sports courts.
It kind
um,
of rhymes.
It does.
I mean, this is, I guess, why we show it to them. If they wanted to say something different, they can't, then we can change it.
I mean, to a certain extent, I guess the priority, at least in my head, is getting it labeled, as long as the label's not wrong.
I guess this is more, it affects all, if it's all 3, then this makes more
Right.
sense, I guess. I sort of consider the pickleball because don't they set the nets up within and stuff? I wasn't thinking about the basketball one even, so.
right.
I guess that makes sense.
I
I'll
like
save
the
it
way
like that.
tennis looks better, but
Tennis
it's
looks-
not as accurate.
Well, it has to be accurate as well, so.
Yeah.
And I think saying or, I mean, I don't, maybe it's and, but I don't think it makes a difference depending on how you're perceiving it, so. And so I'll just change out the date. I just sort of shifted stuff around. It was like kind of challenging for my symmetrical brain to try to get it to balance, but I think it looks fine like that. And then Horseshoe Pond. I said for acquisition. Oh, I guess I said and in this one. Would you rather me say restoration and preservation and restoration? I guess that's probably more
It should be
accurate.
and, yeah.
Right. I guess I wasn't consistent, found my own inconsistency. So this one I said acquisition and preservation. For
Nice.
Horseshoe Pond.
Yep.
And I'll go back and consult the chart. If you send that to me, Maureen, again, since I don't have it. And then here's the community garden fencing. And I just said, I didn't know if acquisition and creation is the right, I mean, because we bought the fence and they were put up. So that's why I said,
And are those the 4 words? Acquisition, creation, preservation,
restoration. Yeah,
and
those are the 4.
restoration,
Yep.
right?
Yep. That's on, yeah, that's on this sign. So if we ever had, I think that's what's on the temp signs.
Right. And
And-
go back to the fence one again, just real quick. Yeah,
And we aren't dealing with this one right now. Or that one. So it was those 3. So it was the courts, Horseshoe Pond, community garden. And
oh, do we have a
that one.
Carter Street one?
Yep. Are you seeing that now?
It's
It says
Bullard
Bullard House.
Oh, it didn't take it down. That's
No.
weird. Yeah, no.
Not
Mm,
yet.
Saving.
Saving. Oh, screen sharing has stopped. Okay. Let me share it again. Now?
Yes.
Powder house.
Okay. And I did acquisition and preservation on this one too.
Yeah.
Great.
So, all right, so I'll do a little more cleanup on these, get the dates right, figure out what I need to do with this logo. And then Maureen, I'll send you an individual PDF for each one of these so that you could attach it with a letter. So you'll have that to use while I'm gone and stuff.
Yeah. So for the next, yeah, but if you get that done for the next meeting and I get the letter done, then we can probably just, if it's only going to be the 4, definitely there should be
Yeah,
enough.
those are the
Yeah.
only 4 at this point that are
Okay.
Do we want to put the word
ready for prime
funded
time.
before the year?
No, I think it gets too confusing. Just too much another element. People will get it.
If they really want to know, like, they can go back to the town reporter.
Right.
They can go to this
follow us,
web, they can
right?
go to this
The
URL.
website will have it, yeah.
I also have to talk to Kristen about this. I'll send her this. I mean, I know this is so doable. We just have to figure out who can do it. It's like such a small thing. So, okay, so close and stop sharing.
All right. Anything
I
else
guess
we
not.
want to talk about in regard to signs?
Hope not.
We got a plan. We'll move forward. That sounds good. And meeting dates?
I sent them out to everybody and they are on the website. So you got the attachment and they're on the website. And it is the 1st and 3rd, right? I think I got them.
Right.
Oh my
And we can
God.
eliminate as necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to April, because town meeting is usually that Monday, and then you guys don't usually meet that the Tuesday next after it, right? So
You
I
went
just
to April or you went to May?
oh, well, the last meeting is April, and then you do town meeting, so I don't
Yep,
have
okay.
that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Uh,
these all look good.
Chair updates. As Maureen mentioned, we have a question regarding some of the work for or potential work for the South Common Field rehabilitation. So Maureen and Kristen have been sharing some emails back and forth. And why don't I let Maureen explain what Kristen's question is? So,
Well, I think at the end of the day, well, so there's a potential invoice to come, as I understand it, for an assessment of what needs to be done for electrical work. And looking back at the application, it doesn't fit into any of those categories. Then also in the meantime, I talked with the town accountant, and she says we never pay for what they might cost us kind of thing, if that makes sense. So June Poland has also been on these emails. So then at the last interaction email with Kristen, I think it might be beneficial for the rec individual who's asking Kristen to do this for the South Commons, come in and speak with you folks. And then if you guys are okay with approving the invoice, then we can put that stamp for the approval on it. But I just don't see a means for me as your admin to say that, yes, CPA funds can do this. But with that said, I still do think there should be a statement from June. But it's because we do state in our invoice, like, like that little form that I send out with the agreements, that don't hold your invoices, and all payments also do need to be in accordance to what the town does for approval of invoices. So with that said, I pulled everything on the application, reviewed it with Tim, gave him copies. So I think it's probably best to get it on an agenda and you as the members make your decision.
So they're asking for someone to do a quote? Or
Yeah, so
for us to pay for a quote or just an assessment?
well, what I did was, let me see if I can even find it. I said, let's see if I can.
I mean, if it's a scope of work, because they have no idea what this thing is gonna cost, but I mean, don't you get that by getting multiple bids and to get a sense of what you're supposed to ask for? Or do they need to know? I don't know. I mean, it's not like, I mean, we pay consultants for a plan to, we've put money, to do our other projects, not we, but.
Right, and that's why I think you all need to speak with the applicant and possibly Kristen on this, because it doesn't fall in with what was approved at town meeting for everything that I could see, but that doesn't, but you guys are the final ones. So basically the last question I did ask her, is this work to be done? And she said, this is work to be done, not yet done. So I think she's even asking because she has, I sent her a copy of the application, what was approved and all this kind of thing. So anyways, I don't know, like I said, I'm not comfortable saying yes or no at this. Initially, I said no, because it seemed like a no, but then there's been more dialogue. So, I mean, I think the other option would maybe suggest that they put in another application to get an assessment done. Because as we all know, as we've been going through this, we learn as we go. But they were very specific on what went to town meeting, on what was the funds that were going to be spent.
But I guess my question would be, on whoever's providing them guidance about getting this done. I mean, I don't understand. I guess I don't
So is it-
understand the difference of, okay, if you don't know what the project is, I mean, you know what you roughly want done, you ask 3 electricians to, come look at the job and quote us how, I mean, I didn't know what was involved with my house, when I had to replace my heating system. So I called 3 people, they all came to the house, they all looked at the system, they all gave me 3 quotes telling me, what it would cost and what's involved and blah, 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 blah. And then I picked the one that made most sense. So I didn't pay for a quote, but
But here, right, so
but-
read it, like, so it says, does he bill the town and we submit the invoice to CPA? So this was the first thing that I went to June
Yeah.
on. Cause that is never a thing. It's not like the town pays somebody something and then CPA will
well,
reimburse
well-
them. That's it. That's a hard no, that's a no. That's just doesn't happen. It has to be
after
the
the work's
invoice comes
completed.
straight and it comes out of that article. It's not, it doesn't get mucky like this. So anyways, that's just what it is. I'm not comfortable saying yes. I think it's a committee thing. I think, it probably is healthy to have, somebody come and talk to you guys about it, what it is. And, when I was thinking about it, the other option is maybe they put in another quick application for the assessment of it.
Well, if that's how they want to do it, but
Yeah, but then again,
But if
town
they did-
accountant, town accountant has to be involved in it too. I mean, because you just don't want to do anything that's going to upset the,
June.
the
I don't know.
department. We don't want the Department of Revenue on our backs.
Right.
Yeah,
it just,
we
it
wanna
doesn't make
keep them
sense
at
to me.
bay, yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I'm with Wayne. So are you asking, do we want to invite the applicant to come in?
I think that would be the best and get it documented and
But
then have an
even
understanding.
before that, why is our committee telling them how they're supposed to bid this stuff? Because,
It's not,
isn't,
this isn't a bid, this is.
well,
all-
but that's my point.
Right,
I mean,
but that's what it
if
should be.
But if it had to go out, that's what I'm saying. Where's the advice about, you don't get a quote like this? It's like, why is it that you need to know in advance? Because then this is going to be an RF. You need a document to put an RFP out. Because what happens if they put it out to an electrician and they read whatever this electrician came up with a proposal and saying, well, that's not how I would do it. I would do it this way. So if you're gonna, so if
But
they're
then
trying
that's
to,
right, that's why the application should have had a line item that said assessment of the grounds.
well, it would have,
for
but I'm just
work that
saying,
would
but
be
is
done.
it even necessary for them to pay for an assessment of the grounds? I mean, if,
Oh, I
I
don't
mean,
know,
unless.
that's all for you guys.
Well, that's not up for me.
yeah.
That's up for them running the program. I mean, for me to sit there and tell them, you have to, go out and get 3
Right.
quotes. I mean,
Right,
to
why
me,
are
it's
you
like,
paying for
why
for
are you
a
paying
bid?
for a quote? I mean, when you did it for what you were doing for the parking lot, Ethan went out and got 3 quotes. Nobody had to tell him
Right,
how to do
yeah.
it. I mean, what else have we've done other things like that? So it's, I don't understand that because if the point is, if they make some estimate that, that, all right, somebody was going to do a quote, so that they went out and they got 1 quote from 1 person and it was over 10,000 or whatever the limit is. Oh no, now we can't do single source. Now we have to go get 3 quotes because that's what's required by, bids. So then it becomes 3 people have to bid, but if it's under, then fine, this is your person, tell us the whole amount. If it's fine, we don't have to bid it. I
So
don't know.
we'll invite John and Kristen to our next meeting.
Yeah, because it's just, and I'm just saying, from me, looking at the application, it doesn't hit any of those buckets.
Yeah, so we want
Wow.
them to explain what it is. in
And
a
how, and it could,
matter
and
of
then if you
fact
guys, yeah.
fashion.
And
what
if you
So
don't want me to
anyways,
be all like how I am, do it while I'm away.
Right, no, we'll do it while you're
Actually,
still here.
Wade, I think you're kind of making sense. I mean, maybe it is another application for assessments of what's supposed to happen out there.
It's their project. They have to decide how they're going to run it. That's not my
Right.
decision.
That's right. I mean, but you can't, but you can't advise. It's like, okay, so, I mean, you guys have kind of been here before because we had to do this, with, the, the
We did this with
approval
the
to
pavilion. The
pay.
pavilion was the same concept.
Well, I think this is more in line when they wanted to, Ellie, what was it exactly that you guys needed when it came to putting the septic in? Remember, there was some controversy about could CPA funds be used, and it was like engineering, like you had to, it's in your minutes. As far as engineering and architect, like, were you gonna be able to use
Yeah.
that line item for that? You
And I
guys, you
think
guys
that,
remember
that
that?
it
Yeah.
came out that we could use a certain amount, a certain percentage of it.
Right,
Right, yeah, so I think it's more in line with that septic thing, like, and then you guys made the decision, and then there is a motion that it was okay to use that money.
so we'll
Yeah.
invite John and Kristen and they can explain their situation, and
Yeah,
we'll touch base with June one more time just to,
right, June Poland, and like June Miller had come in.
Yeah,
and she was
June
on the
Poland.
agenda for that with that septic situation. So it's that same scenario, I just can't do the stamp on it.
share updates. I don't think I've got anything else, do I? No.
Well, that was a good doozy, that one.
Member input and updates. Does anyone have an input or an update? Do we have an update on the parking?
Ethan, Paul Wheeler wanted him to stake it out. It has been staked out. But I haven't talked to Ethan since I got back from vacation 3 days ago. So,
Any other updates?
The clothing project is proceeding. I think she's coming every Thursday.
That's great.
cool.
Yes.
Are you guys learning a lot?
Yep.
That's awesome. Any surprises?
Yes,
I think that the preservation of polyester fabric is the biggest surprise.
right.
As in,
Like how to, or that you can, or
It
that you
needs to
should?
be kept in a freezer.
what?
Yeah.
Huh,
All of that
So-
polyester that we thought would
But-
last
Yeah.
forever.
is not lasting. And so it's the commission is finding it easy to say, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, gone. We're not buying a freezer
Right.
to
Sure.
store clothes.
that's crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah,
I got a kick out of that. I thought that was,
yeah.
Ate in the school cafeteria freezer.
yeah, there you go. Anything
Yeah.
else on updates? Everybody's good? Administrative matters. The CP3 is done and finalized and off to the races. So we're set on that. Anything else in terms of admin?
Sadly, no interest or anything coming in for applications. I mean, I had that one email, what, about a
Well,
month ago,
There's still a little time.
You had one email about what?
asking about, actually, it started with Kristen and some school people were on it. Like, have you
Oh.
made the announcement? So, the October
Yeah.
powder house should be coming out, so, but usually sometimes you hear some buzz, but nothing.
I
Yeah.
think we'll see some from the school, given the fact the superintendent is involved.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
so
Julie Lee is is she rec director? Did she get hired by
Athletic
the school?
director,
For Tohoto?
yeah.
So there may be some interest in applying, and I think, that we'll be faced with that whole question of town-owned land and school land and all that stuff. So,
Make sure Wayne's here for that one.
public input. No public. Next meeting is October 7th. And Maureen and I will meet before then. We'll reach out to John and Kristen and get them on the agenda.
yeah, I can email her actually tomorrow. She's back from vacation, I believe.
Good.
And I'll give her both October dates.
Are we gonna do this, if we do the letter thing to the committees, are we gonna do that to the property owner then for the Powder House Hill? Is that how we would handle that one?
I would, is there anything else that a butter should know? Like, is there any, I mean, I know that's like kind of an abutter easement guy, he's more important, but like,
Oh, no, I don't
are
wanna get into.
are there any
abutters.
other products?
No,
It's not
just the
that,
person whose land it's going on.
I mean,
That's enough.
yeah, okay, because
As
it's
long,
not,
as long as the planning board or whoever the zoning has no problem and it's allowed to be on that.
yeah, so.
That's fine by me.
So, right, so Tim will talk to Richard, and then if he's good.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'll get in touch with Travis.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't mean to be it just feels like it's one of those, that's the one element that's not like in a town committee, so.
Yep.
And I think we care a lot about that one, so I want to
Yeah,
make sure that's done
definitely.
correctly.
So,
Yeah.
so you're saying, would that be 2 letters then? Because the applicant and to Travis is what you're saying?
I
Or
think
would
we
you-
should do the applicant first and then
Right.
and then Travis, just in case there are any changes that are
Okay.
made. Here is
Yeah.
the final design. You
Sounds
good
good.
with this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else? We have a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
Second.
non-debatable. Beth,
Aye.
Ellie,
Hi.
Wayne,
I
Carolyn,
Aye.
Tim, I.
I missed
Oh.
MJ tonight. I hope he's okay.
I know, right?
probably having a Wayne evening where he's forgot.
Yeah,
Ha, ha.
I know, because we were doing once a month, so now we're back to every, good. Trust me, that's why my minutes didn't get to you guys on Thursday. I'm like,
So you can already mark me off. I won't be here for the 21st or whatever that meeting is. I won't be here for that one in October.
okay, all right.
Well, maybe
All
we
right.
won't meet.
Well, if you don't have a quorum, so just keep it in
I
mind.
think I'll be gone too.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She just decided.
Actually, I'm going off with my sisters.
Oh, so it's legit. So you got 2 of
Oh,
us
there you
out.
go.
And
All right.
actually, I'll be giving a presentation for the Housing Trust the night of the 21st.
Oh, so we won't have a quorum.
I
It would
guess we
be-
will.
Yeah.
Good.
I'll happily take that off my calendar.
And you know what? That actually probably works better for my hours anyways, because I'll be doing those 4 hours on the 7th for the
Did we work- did we
application.
work this
So
out?
look at this, all just
All
happened.
right.
Falling into
The-
place.
Have we already closed the meeting officially?
Yeah,
Oh,
No.
no, right. So do we need to vote to cancel that meeting?
No, I don't, I haven't,
No,
I've got nothing
You can do
published.
that the next time,
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
as long as you. have
I
a
don't
team.
put it on my town government until I have an agenda.
Right.
It's-
All
yeah.
right, then it's a vote and we're adjourned at 8:28. Nice job.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.